Right, sing, clap. Hi, my name is Aiden and I'm not a very good illustrator. For a long time, I couldn't really identify why this was the case. I practiced since I was a kid, but it always felt like there was a wall I couldn't pass. It always felt like there was something missing in between the process of conceptualizing an idea and putting it on paper in drawing. But one day, a friend of mine introduced me to a word, aphantasia. If this is your first time hearing about aphantasia, you're likely about to either have your mind blown or think I'm making things up, because aphantasia is the inability to create mental images in one's mind. I know that sounds weird. You've probably lived your whole life without thinking about how your brain visualizes things, so what I'm saying might not even make sense. So here's a quick experiment. Picture this in your head. A little kid bought a new pair of shoes and is off to take a jog through the park. Now, what's the color of their shoes? Does it have a brand? What does the child look like? Is there a scent in the air? What does the weather feel like on your skin? Are there birds chirping? If you could answer all of it, congratulations, you have hyperphantasia. If you answer about 3, then you're about average. But if you're one of the 5% of the people in the world who can't answer any of the above, you're likely thinking, what the f***? You're supposed to see things in your mind? Yeah. When people say picture this, they meant it literally. They are picturing it in their brain eyes. It's not a figure of speech, and it doesn't just apply to images. Sound, smell, taste, touch. Yeah, people can taste things they are not eating. They can feel the sand on their feet. It's like their brain has tongues and ears. Like, oh my god, what the fuck? Okay, I'm calm. So yeah, that's aphantasia, a condition that affects about 5% of the population, where they don't have what we traditionally refer to as a mind's eye. If I have to give an example of the experience of aphantasia, I would liken it to playing a video game but without the UI. No health bar, no crosshairs, no menu, no text box, no quest markers. Your brain is only interacting with the world based on what you are experiencing. You don't see red when you are in danger, you don't have a checklist in your head to help you remember your tasks. Can you still play such a game? Sure, you can, but you're missing something. It becomes an entirely different experience. In the game Disco Elysium, there are 2 skills called conceptualization and visual calculus. Conceptualization is basically your creativity, your ability to come up with ideas, while visual calculus is your ability to construct a scene in your mind, the titled Fantasia that we're talking about. The difference between conceptualization and visual calculus means creativity and visualization are 2 different things. This explains why even people with aphantasia can still be creative, can be artists, musicians, cooks, or still be able to write fiction. I still have my creativity, but I lack visualization capability. Because aphantasia is so rarely understood, I've compiled experiences shared by people on the r/aphantasia Reddit, and it seems there are 3 spectrums of visualization. First, you have clarity. This affects the sharpness of an image and is commonly seen from a blank nothing to a blur to a crisp image. Second is saturation. How much information does your image carry? Is it just monotone, or are there colors? Are there patterns or even words? And the last one is detail. Is it a basic shape, a mesh of geometry, or something more realistic? Adjust these scales and you can get a pretty clear idea of where you sit. Aphantasia means none of the above are ticked and you can't see anything. Despite that, aphantasia artists can create any type of art, the same as any other artist, but are known to have incredibly surreal style, unorthodox methods to their creation, or require a vast image reference library. For example, when I'm writing fiction, I engage the memory part of my brain instead of the visualization part. I create a memory of a character and then remember how they were whenever I write them. Instead of picturing a kid out jogging, I remember, like, say, my niece and imagine her out jogging. Then I remember my old running shoe and I picture my niece wearing that. Basically, I'm writing from memory instead of visuals. This did cause issues when I was learning to write, as most normal lessons would almost always require visualization, meaning I could never apply them properly, and in the end I had to spend almost a decade developing my own technique to even write anything halfway decent. Outside of art, aphantasia can affect things like gaming. Chess and Go traditionally requires players to picture moves in their head so that they can plan forward. But without visualization, it can be difficult, sometimes impossible, to become good at a game. In modern times, digital chess with visual aids have helped improve quality of life for people with aphantasia, even leading them to ranks that they would otherwise not be able to achieve. Interestingly, some aphantasiacs can still dream, myself included, and incredibly vividly too. This deposits an interesting idea that conscious and subconscious visualization uses different parts of the brain, and eventually we might be able to reconcile them. I'm not sharing all this in a boo-hoo, poor me kind of way, though I will admit there are some times where I wish I had some visualization capacity to make doing art easier. I'm sharing this because there are likely a lot of highly imaginative and creative minds hidden behind the wall of aphantasia, and it's a little sad to think that these people might be held back from their creative freedom because of some antiquated techniques and rules about how something is done. And not just art, but I wonder how many people are prevented from enjoying things like chess and Go and other form of board games simply because they can't picture moves ahead. Even psychologically, how often do we hurt or classify people derogatorily because of aphantasia? How many people lose confidence because they think they are failures, not knowing the reason why is that they were just born that way? Not failures, just born with, like, you get what I mean. Some of the artworks I showed earlier is made by an aphantasiac artist named Anita Suchomska. She had a terrible experience being trained traditionally until she discovered art assemblages and can now create these wonderfully surreal pieces. Maybe if you can share this knowledge of aphantasia around, preferably with this video, yeah, help a brother out, yeah. Anyway, another Anita Suchomska out there may just have their whole world make sense and give their creativity another go. Hey everyone, thank you for watching. This video was originally supposed to be a fun short little skit animated by me to show how free healthcare works, but I couldn't draw well enough because of my aphantasia, so I decided to try and explore this wonderful world of not having a brain eye. Me what good? Yeah, that's it. I'm still working on my new documentary. I'm getting in the hang of things. I hope I can continue putting on more videos at a steady pace. I'm not gonna guarantee a date, but I'm hoping at least once a month, or at least once every 2 months. I just guarantee a date, even though I said I wouldn't guarantee. Ah man, I'm such a. You know what? Just cut. Bye.